But I did want to comment on a few things. Um, so the everything with Sincere is done, buried. It's, I really wanted to save our friendship. That was one reason why I invited him to Seattle with me, my mental health, vacation, and to really just support that and be that crutch for me. He's someone who I love and someone who's there for me. We were friends for 8 years. We tried to be in a romantic relationship that lasted really a month because after Christmas Eve, it just went down. And you cannot work at a relationship takes two people. You cannot say that you're willing to work it out and you're not willing to work it out. You just can't. And one person can't work it out. Like it has to be a team effort. Yeah, a couple things that had me like fucked up was we have a mutual friend. I haven't seen homegirl since I was 17. I'm 29. Like I have no, like, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Um I was upset with her to the point, like, if I ever do see her again, I'm stalking her dead in her face right in here. It's because she felt bold enough to ask me for my man's number. Don't ask me for my man's number. Don't ask any girl for their man's number. Like, you're weird for that, and you're fucked up for that, and you're disrespectful, and you deserve to get socked in the fucking face. I did not need to be part of that reunification. Okay, there are so many social media platforms, like they're friends, they go way back, they have a special connection, whatever the fuck. That's their business. I did not need to be a witness to that. Okay. And then he had me fucked up because he fucking yelled at me for not wanting to give her his number. And they are both like, I don't want her, I don't want him, type of thing. That never crossed my mind. It's not my business if you guys secretly are fucking. I don't care. It's not my business. Don't give a fuck. I don't think like that. My point was, and my point still is, bitch, don't fucking ask me for my man's number. And motherfucker, don't yell at me. When it comes to his baby moms, didn't give a shit about that at all. Because when he approached me when we first ever met on the fucking train, okay, he approached me in front of her. Okay, so when you approach someone in front of whoever you're with, it's clear to me that that person is not your girlfriend or your boyfriend. That person is just your friend, or maybe that person is a relative, someone who is just with you. He dead ass hollered at me right in front of her. About that whole situation, I didn't appreciate that. One, my mental state was not at 100%. Two, he brought his son, which is totally okay, but he did not warn me because right before they both walked up to my apartment in Hollywood, he was under the impression that he was going to see his son into the new year. So when he's walking up to the apartment with his son, I'm like, oh, okay, because I would have gotten us a bigger place. I just really want to say that aloud and again because I said that to him. I don't think he was listening. You know, then on top of that, you cannot sit here and tell me that you don't like this person and all these horrible things about this person and turn around and be on the phone, chit-chatting, laughing, it up for 2 fucking hours, Christmas Eve, while you're making Christmas Eve dinner for me. Like, that just don't make sense. And you cannot get upset that I am respecting the fact that you're on the phone. I am keeping y'all son preoccupied. I'm giving myself a facial. I'm chit-chatting it with my fans on my Snapchat. Like, I am letting you. It's extremely disrespectful for me to be all up in your conversation, for me to be all up on you, which he wanted, and I am not like that because one, like, I feel like he wanted me to like fight for him in a way, but it's just like, you were already mine. celebrating Christmas Eve together. We were already like living together. Like we were already, it was already what it was. You know? Like you're the one who didn't see your son for 2 fucking years. You're the one who is going through this custody, court shit. Like I don't need her to feel like I'm coming in between your parenting, or make her feel uncomfortable, or make her not like me or anything like that. I mean, she automatically doesn't like me, of course. I mean, that's just like natural. But I don't need to be adding alcohol to the fire. Like, I really wanted it to get to a point that when he had his days with his son and she was dropping him off, that if he was there or not there in our home, she still felt comfortable dropping off their son. Like sometimes when you drop off your kid, like the stepmom is there but not the dad because the dad is at work. You know what I mean? Like that. Like I really wanted it to get to that level, and I wasn't trying to give her any ammunition to be like, nah, fuck that. Clearly that shit didn't work. He and I ended up having this big fucking fight on Christmas Eve that we just did not come back from. I was outside my mind, body, and soul. I was screaming. I was crying. I was doing the absolute most in front of a 3-year-old. And as someone who's been very, very vocal, very transparent about my mental health and everything like that, and him, someone who's known me, someone who knows, as I've always been honest. As soon as shit in my mind was not being right, I called myself out on it. He was still in prison at the time. I spoke to him about it. I told him. So in a way, I do feel like that shit was a setup, because you knew I wasn't in my right mind. And so anyway, the shit fucking blew up anyway, and now we ain't got shit to do with each other. And about the human that he's currently with, or whatever the fuck that looks like. Because one moment they're in a relationship, and that's how I got involved somehow, because I got screenshots and shit. And then it was an open relationship, and then it was complicated. And then he's talking about that poly life, and I'm just like what? Like, so whatever the fuck that looks like, I don't care. I care about the fact that she has no boundaries, and someone with no boundaries is dangerous. She contacts my kid, then asks me for money to bail out her man. No. The way he described her to me was like some other hoe off the street. Like, he was not saying it like we had a whole like 4 days in Seattle, just he and I in a whole different state, talking about our relationship, our friendship, what was important, how am I doing, like real like intimacy, like real shit. Never once was he's like, yeah, I love this girl. I'm so happy I fucking met her and this and that. He was not talking about her like that. He was talking about how he and his other girl fucked her, and how he didn't trust her going to his storage, and how this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like, he was not speaking highly of this woman. Once you contact a wrong number, let's just say, and they say, oh, I'm 12, you're not supposed to continue the conversation. You're not. My daughter told her that she was 12. Okay? When I said, hey, can we finish this conversation? Hit me on my line. This is my daughter's line. Once again, should not have been still contacting my child's number, because now the child's 12 and the child's my child. Hit me up on my line. I don't want to talk to you, but for sure don't talk to my kid.